And for me, that's the dilution. You got to dilute it in a way that it aligns. You know, it's like a chemical imbalance, right? Well, you got to keep trying shit until you come to a chemical balance. And not everybody's going to understand that analogy, but that's okay. That's okay. The solution to pollution is dilution. Yeah, if you just want to let me know what that means to you, don't hold back. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Okay. So I got a quote from Young Pueblo. He's a poet and he's an author. You fellas check him out. If you think he's worth checking out, check him out. If not, don't. Up to you. The quote is, I'm not looking to fall into other people's tensions. I'm looking to invite them into my peace. Oof. And you know what that speaks to? Is not letting other people guide the way you react to situations. Not investing in one's energy because you're around them. It's building a resilience to other people's energy in a sense that you don't consume or be consumed by the space that they're holding in regards to their feelings and emotions and their frequencies, right? They're like what makes up their energy. And instead of getting wrapped up in all their bullshit, and let's keep it real, like a lot of the time it is bullshit and sometimes it's not. But when it comes to your well-being, it's bullshit, isn't it? You don't want none of that. You want to keep that out. Okay? So what do you do? You don't match their energy. You look to bring down their energy to your level, right? You want to bring them into your peaceful state. Well, how you do that? By maintaining that state to start with and showing some empathy. And when I say empathy, quite often what a person first wants is just to be acknowledged. You know, they want to hear that. They just want to hear, I feel your pain. They're not looking for a solution. They're not looking for you to understand. Because how can you? You don't live their life. You can relate to one's experience. All right. This is something very, very, very. I got a little bit of sore back, so I'm going to move it. Very close to my heart. The notion of empathy. Okay. All right. I think lots of people get it twisted in regards to how they think they should practice empathy. In my personal opinion. Okay. So I'll provide an example. So sometimes I'll say to people, "Hey, like I won't say it off the bat, but we'll get to talking, and we're talking about our past and stuff, and I'll say, look, I've done lots of shit in my life that I can't make up for, and quite often the first response is, yeah, me too. Yeah, I understand that. I understand what you mean. I understand what you went through. Pardon? Okay. Firstly, just bringing the mic in a little bit. Firstly, I'm sharing my story with you. Just listen. Is it really that hard? Like, come on now. Because I know you can't put it on me that I don't listen to you fellas. And I'm not saying this to anybody directly. I'm just saying in general because this is an example. But it does annoy me. Just listen and acknowledge us. And like all you have to say, this is it. This is it. And use me as an example. It's like, oh fuck, that's shit. See, you know, or like, and it doesn't even have to be that. It's like, oh, okay. What does that look like for you then? Like just acknowledge it. You don't have to understand it. Why do you have to understand it? Why? What is it about our need to understand? before our need to help out a loved one, Like, think about the logic of that. How selfish is that shit? And sometimes I engage in this bullshit as well. But it's not the notion of true empathy. All right, let me school you fellas, eh? No, I'm just fucking with you. Okay, this is how I see empathy. And if anyone wants to discuss and debate, I welcome you. Let's do it. We do it on we do it on the Hood Philosophy podcast. Hey, wouldn't that be a bit of fun? Empathy. Okay. So I believe that yes, while we relate to people with our lived experience, we relate to them. We don't understand. Okay. So what's the best way of understanding, or even just attempting to understand, trying your best, your very best to understand what someone is going through? The only way you can do that is asking yourself, like, what if I was them? What would I have done differently? Or would I have done the same thing? How do you do that? How do you do that? Let me tell you. All right, let me tell you. You take off your shoes and your socks before you put yourself in the shoes of somebody else. See, because lots of people think that you just put yourself into the shoes of somebody else, but you're already wearing shoes. You already got all your baggage. You already got all your lived experience to guide what you're going to say by. Yeah, like and I realize what I'm asking of people here. This is hard, but anything worth doing is hard. I can't say it like any more profoundly, Like anything in this life that seems like hard work usually has long-term benefits or long-term effects of a magnitude that's beautiful all day, every day. Anything that's hard, you know? Whether it be maintaining a routine or showing up every day or practice, repetition, it's all fucking monotonous and it's boring. And you got to do it on the days that you're sick. You got to do it on the days that you're raining. And that's why nobody wants to do it. Nobody. But if you want to talk about empathy, you got to do it. Okay? So first you acknowledge their pain, because that gives them validation. Okay, we all want to be validated when we're feeling hurt, betrayed, angry, sad, all these negative emotions, right? Yeah, we want someone to hear us first and foremost. Off the bat, we don't need anybody to understand. How you understand? Come on now, let's wake up to ourselves. Okay, so acknowledge the pain. Take off your shoes. Before you take off your shoes, sorry, use your lived experience to relate if need be, if the situation calls for it. If you don't need to insert yourself into the situation and it is very clear, don't insert yourself into the fucking situation. Okay? Because that's just selfish. And if the goal is to show empathy, then there's no point in, you know, like you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for the person that you're trying to help. And if you're not doing it for the person that you're trying to help, you're not going to help the person, because intentions do matter. And if your good intention comes from a shit place, ain't shit gonna pan out for you. It's just, I'm sorry, that's not how the world works. Acknowledge, relate, take off your shoes, get rid of all your preconceived notions of that related experience, and then ask yourself, what if I was them? When you ask yourself, what if I was them, that's you putting your feet into the person's shoes. You know, quite often when you ask yourself that question about what if it was me? What if it was me in that situation? What would I have done in that situation? Quite often the answer is I would have done exactly the same fucking thing. Context matters. It has to. All right. That's the lesson of the day for me. And that's one thing. One of the lessons I took away from my conversation with Paul. There were lots. We got into everything, eh? Um, but yeah, going back to young Pueblo's quote, I'm not looking to fall into other people's tensions. I want to invite them into my peace. Yeah, that's that's a challenge, isn't it? But is it a challenge that you're ready for? I reckon. I reckon you're ready for it. I reckon you can get it done, eh? Because how do you get it done? You focus on becoming a little bit more calm, cool, and collected. But that's a big one. That's a big one. That comes with time and lots of hard work. What do I mean by that? In regards to like peaceful energy, because you want to be like that person to that other people gravitate towards, right? And that comes through energy. Like when when like someone walks into the room and everybody turns around. Well, not everybody's seen the follower walk into the room, right? No, they felt that person's energy. It was vibrant, It reached far and wide, and that. Ooh-wee. All right, I'll touch on a little bit. All right, a little bit. I'm doing this for the wifey, my beautiful wife, Farisha. She's always asking me to talk about compromise. Let's have at it. Compromise. This is something that I never used to engage in. Just ask her. For a long time, my way or the highway, eh? Like if you didn't do it my way, I wouldn't engage in the activity. I'm not talking about just with the wife. And the reason I go like that is because I'm literally across the road from my house. Shout out to the brother Tim. He looks after me, man. Um, no internet connection. Yeah. Beautiful peoples, welcome back. We just had a connection error that you'll see in the video later. I did go to edit it, but we don't know if it worked. So we'll see how we go. So back to compromise. Yeah, it used to be my way or the highway. I just didn't have an open mind. And I'm so I used to be so set in my ways that I I just I guess I was too scared of trying anything else. Nah, let's keep it real. I was too proud. Yeah, it kind of hit me then. Why? Why would I never compromise? And it always comes back to the ego, right? It was either I was too proud or I was too insecure because someone else had a better idea than me. And I know that doesn't speak to all you people in regards to like how you go about that and all like where it comes from. But most roads usually lead back to the ego. It's the source of our insecurities which emanate in anxiety and fear and all these shitty ass feelings and emotions that overwhelm the fuck out of us. Whether it be simple things like studying for a test or getting pulled up by police or yeah, I know that's got nothing to do with compromise, but I was just talking about some of the things that can elicit these emotions. Compromise. Okay. When the relationship with my wife probably actually became a relationship, I was going to say like start to improve, but it wasn't a relationship before then, you know? It was my way or the highway. How the fuck like a relationship involves two people. You know what a relationship involves as well? Compromise. Yeah. But I thought, I'm the man in the relationship, so I get to choose how everything goes. But you know what